What's going on, Halo fans? TheNotable here. This is episode 2 of Get Wrecked, and this series shows you which requisition cards you want to sell and which ones you want to keep and use in the Warzone. This episode will go over two seemingly overlooked cards, the Storm Rifle and the Needler. Sometimes low-level rec cards can be a diamond in the rough, and we're going to find out on this episode of Get Wrecked. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the basic Needler. I'm not going to be talking about the higher level ones. And the basic level Needler is a level 3 rec, meaning you're going to get it pretty quickly in the game. Most of the time, these low level recs, you really shouldn't expect much. They have little niches, but for the most part, they're not going to be all around good. What I like to do is look at what other things you can unlock around that rec level, and the biggest thing that comes to mind is the battle rifle. So when you're deciding whether you should use the Needler or not, you should really think about how good you are with the battle rifle. I say this because while the Needler is good in some situations, the battle rifle is good in many more. Plus, you can have unlimited ammo with the rec station. The Needler only works in limited areas. You can see here I try to poke out and shoot these guys on the other base, but my reticle doesn't turn red, and that's the only way you're going to get a kill with the Needler. You essentially have to wait for someone to come to you. It's a defensive weapon. I will say that once a player is in your effective range, it's very easy to kill them with the Needler. This is especially true if the player is out in the open. But again, the same is true regarding the battle rifle and similar low-level recs. One last thing about the Needler is a lot of your kills are going to come from killing low-level players, and that's because high-level players have a lot of experience with the Needler and know how to get out of the way of its needles. The most important part of this video is where I rate the actual rec card. The first category, rec level, is I look and see if a level 3 rec is appropriate for the Needler, and I say it kind of is. It could be a little bit lower, but it's not so arbitrary to say that I would never use this. I give it full credit for using it against Spartans. It's very good and can be used in a lot of different situations. I didn't talk about its use against vehicles, but I give it a 0 because it's really not used at all against vehicles. It is good against low-level bosses like the Sangheili General or the Elite Assassin, but against high-level bosses you should probably use something else. The last category is usage, and this just looks at the overall usage of the gun. Is it good in combat? Is there anything about it that makes you mad? And I will say that the lack of ammo in the Needler makes me kind of upset, and I can only kill maybe 2 or 3 guys before I have to reload with a whole new rec card. Overall, I think in general you should sell your Needler rec cards, at least the basic ones, and try to hope for something better out of your rec packs. Now I would like to talk about the Storm Rifle. The Storm Rifle has a special place in my heart ever since Halo 5 was first released. In Halo 4 it really wasn't that great, but in Halo 5 it's one of the best close quarters weapons in the game. All you need is a quick burst followed up by a melee to get very easy kills. It dominates the assault rifle, especially in early game when everyone's using it, making this thing a monster in early game. You'll find it very easy to take bases in the early game, setting yourself up for success in the late game. This weapon is a level 1 rec, which means you can get it as soon as the game starts. It's used primarily in close quarters, but it's really good at that job, and for 1 rec, you can put a lot of damage down. Its one major flaw is that it has a massive lack in range. This is primarily a close quarters weapon and nothing else. Because of that, you're really not going to get any usage out of it if you're trying to kill vehicles or bosses. Now it's time to rate the Storm Rifle. As far as rec level goes, this thing is incredibly appropriate for a level 1 rec. I mean, you can't get any lower. I've already said that against Spartans, this is one of the best recs to have for close quarters battles. If you try to take on a vehicle or a boss with the Storm Rifle, you might have some troubles. It's not very great at taking out vehicles or bosses because of its lack of range. As far as overall usage goes, I love the Storm Rifle. For early game, it's one of the best guns and one of the best purchases you can make in the rec system. My suggestion to everyone out there watching this video is to use a Storm Rifle in the early game for every single Warzone game you play. At a 3.0 and a 1 level rec, this is definitely a gun you want to use out in the Warzone. Hold on to these rec cards when you get them because they are incredibly useful. Thanks for watching, guys. I know there was a long period between episode 1 and 2, but I was having a little bit of issues with recording, and now I figured out how to do them. The next few episodes will be on higher level recs, but I wanted to make sure to get the low level recs out of the way first, because a lot of times the low level recs are where you're going to get a lot of your kills. If you have any questions or suggestions, please go down in the comment section. I reply to every single comment that gets posted to my channel, and I'd love reading them. I also make tons of other Halo 5 videos, so if you want to check those out, you can just go to my channel. Also, if you want to support my channel, you can go to the description and click on my Patreon link. It's a way for you guys to donate to me, and it really helps. That's all for this time. Make sure to keep your Storm Rifle rec cards, and as always, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.